guys, this is Fudo Yusei here, coming at you with another deck profile. This time I'm coming with Seto Kaiba Battle City deck profile. You can check out the previous deck profile we made, the Joey Wheeler Battle City deck profile if you haven't checked it out. So let's get this started. We're gonna start with the monsters. I like the Battle City Kaiba deck profile because it's just troll. Kaiba becomes a real troll after he gets the Judai card, Obelisk the Tormentor. And yeah, so that's the way I center the deck. It's pretty much how I had it anyways when he had Obelisk. It's just to spam monsters on the field to tribute for Obelisk. So we're gonna start off with his aces, his ace monster, Blue Eyes White Dragon. All three of them. Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's his go-to cards. That's the card that he wins every time, but not in this case. So anyways, that's the deck. We have the three new cards, the X Head Cannon, White Dragon Head, and Z Metal Tank. Those were introduced first in the Battle City, so that's pretty good. It's pretty cool. You should try them out. It's amazing, and it creates for great openings. We have a couple of cards from the virtual world. We have the two giant germs that are used in the virtual world. I added it because it adds more versatility. It just provides more monsters to tribute summon, especially if you're trying to go for the main guys like Blue Eyes or the big hitters. So we have those giant germs. We also have Twin-Headed Behemoth and Spear Dragon. Twin-Headed Behemoth for more support, and Spear Dragon just because it's a beast stake Kaiba style anyways, power. But yeah, that's those cards are usually from the virtual world arc. So we also have Force Raider, another beast stake Battle Ox. Yeah, we have Blade Knight. Love how this card looks. Freaking secret rare. It's a pretty cool card. I like it. It was one of my favorite cards in Kaiba's deck. One of my favorite regular cards that he has. We have Kaiser Glider. Kaiser Glider is a pretty good card. I like it. If it gets destroyed, you just get to return something, and then he can be killed by monsters with the same attack as him, I believe. Yeah. We have Ryukushin Powered, Kaiser Seahorse, Lord of D. These cards are freaking classic, and Lajin, the Mystical Genie of the Lamp. Those are all classic cards that Kaiba used. Battle City. We have an anime card, Sword of Soul. Pretty amazing card because when it gets destroyed, it's into the graveyard. One face of monster you control gains 1,000 attack to the end phase. So like, you know, it helps you survive. Like if your opponent's trying to go off. And last but not least, we have the main guy of the deck, Obelisk the Tormentor. That's the guy that the deck is literally freaking based around anyways, because that's how Kaiba had it anyways in the show. It's just to spam monsters so he can bring it out. So those are the monsters. Obviously we're gonna use Obelisk's actual TCG effect. We're not using the anime effect. It's too broken. So yeah, and we know it by heart anyways, so we just wanted to use the actual card, like, you know, like just like in the show. So yeah, so next we have the trap cards. We have Crush Card Virus, the new one. You can either use the old effect or the new effect, or if you just want to be freaking broken, you can use the anime effect. I don't recommend it. But yeah, so you could use that. We have Interdimensional Matter Transporter. God dang, that's a long ass name. He used this in the show to like protect his fusion monsters so he can bring it back out and stuff, but in the show it's kind of different. We have cloning, just more support to spam tribute summons. It's just perfect, and it copies the monster's attack and defense and everything, so you can just stall with that. Negate attack, very classic card. And then we have three anime cards. We have Attack Guidance Armor. He uses this, I think, in every single duel. Did he use that like what, in the Battle City arc, or was it in like
which card?
Attack Guidance Armor?
I think
it was from Battle City on, right?
Yeah.
He just spammed that card. Was always in his deck. After that, we have Magical Trick Mirror. Love that card, especially if you're doing it against like the old Like if you're doing against the old DM characters, since they have a lot of broken spell cards, that's a perfect card to use. You just activate one of their spell cards from their graveyard as that card, so it's perfect. And last but not least, we have Power Balance. I'll explain to you why that card is good. People don't, you know, at first I didn't know what the heck, like why would I want that in the deck, but then I realized, you know, the combo with the deck, that card is perfect if you mix it up with this card that I'm going to show you, the very first spell card, which is Card of the Demise. So yeah, these two cards is perfect because you activate Card of the Demise, the anime effect, you draw until you have 5 cards. And then during your 5th standby phase, you, after activation, send all cards in your hand to the graveyard. So that gives way for power balance. When your opponent declares an attack, if you have no cards in your hand, you could just, and your opponent has an even number of cards in his hand, your opponent can discard half of his hand and then you draw that same amount. So it's perfect. So like if he has 6 cards in his hand, when he attacks directly while you have no cards in your hand, which Card of Demise will provide for you, just draw 3 cards right off the bat. So that's the perfect combo. We have a Shrink, very classic card. Back in the day, you know, we had the little old classic combo with Saki the Dark Clown and Crush card, but now Kaiba uses the usual combo, which is shrinking his own like high level dark monsters and then activating Crush card virus to, you know, activate the effects and, you know, go off. We have Flute of Summoning Dragon. In the Battle City arc he has 2, but in this case I only had 1 because I needed more space for, you know, monster spam. Those are the better spell cards. We have Soul Exchange as well. You can choose to either activate the anime effect or the regular effect. I feel like the anime effect is just too broken because you just tribute 3 monsters. It's just dead. So yeah, that's freaking that. We have Cause Down, just more support. Although Obelisk, you still have to tribute 3 because that's his effect. We have Monster Reborn. We just spend some of the monster from the graveyard. Pot of Greed. Everybody knows what that does. That card is never coming off the ban list. We have Silent Doom, just more freaking spam, and it's a defensive card too if you want to summon a monster. Enemy Controller, he used this like in the Battle City, he just spammed that afterwards, and usually he had that he started using that in combination with XYZ. It kind of had like that machine type, you know, image. Phoenix Sanctuary. We really didn't see him use that, but it was in his deck. He gave it to Yuki in the show, I believe. Yeah. So he can use it against Marek. But it just makes for another, just more tributes for. Yeah,
it's all this deck.
That's more. That's pretty much how Kaiba made his deck. And we have Polymerization. I want to get the like alternate art for so that like all the old DM characters can have it because it would be better. And then we have two like freaking anime cards. The first one, Command Silence. I love this card. I wish they made this in real life. It's perfect. It's pretty much you negate the attack and then you draw a card. Nothing but pluses, of course. And last but not least, Lullaby of Obedience. They're making this card in real life. I'm freaking glad they are. Although the real card, you pay 2,000 life points and it has an extra effect, but it's similar. This card is you pay 1,000. You declare a name of a level 8 or higher monster. And if the declared card is in your opponent's deck, you can add that card to your hand. The anime, the real effect, you pay 2,000 and then you get to choose. You just declare card name and then that card is your opponent chooses to either add that card to your hand or special summon that monster to your side of the field, ignoring the summoning conditions. So if you know what deck you're going against, you could just be a real dick about it, like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck you over, I'm just declare that card, like, fuck you, give me that card. And then yeah, so that's the Kaiba deck. Plus the fusions, we have the XYZ Dragon Cannon and the classic.
We have the other one too, the V.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we gotta get that.
We're gonna get that one. I think it was XZ or
so.
The YZ, I believe, is one of those two.
Yeah, YZ or
yeah.
XY or something.
Yeah, but those 2 cards and then plus the other one. Obviously he had a lot other fusions. He had a twin-headed Twin Thunder Dragon or whatever and stuff like that, but it was inconvenient for this deck because I wanted to keep the limit of how many tribute monsters I had in the deck to 5.
Too much.
Yeah, it would have been very inconsistent, and either way, the deck is based to summon Obelisk anyways. It doesn't really matter. And then Blue Eyes has a backup, so that's that. I made a little side deck for him as well. So I have Luster Dragon and Sagi the Dark Clown, classic cards. There's no explaining those cards. We have a card that he used in the, I think it was the virtual world. Yeah, he didn't have that in the regular thingy. The virtual world his deck was more like more emphasis on dragons. So yeah, Spirit Dragon was in that deck. We had a Despero Imp as well. That was Battle City actually. It's a pretty good card. It's a flip effect. You just target a card in your graveyard and then just shuffle it into your deck. So if Obelisk is in your graveyard, you have no way to freaking bring it back. Just shuffle that crap back to your deck. Final attack orders. I was gonna add what was the card I was gonna add? Well, I was gonna add Last Turn, but I wanted to add this instead because it was Battle City, and Last Turn is kind of like broken. But I added that, and the anime effect is ridiculous. Like I think both players choose 3 cards from their decks, right? And then send the rest of their whole deck to the graveyard.
That's
the anime effect. Like,
yeah.
Both players, yeah, that was the dumbest thing ever, but that thing is super broken. So yeah, but I'd rather just use the regular effect. It's more Kaiba, Kaiba style. Switch everything to attack mode, and yeah, we have Burst Breath and Dragon's Rage, also cards that he used in the freaking Virtual World arc. It's pretty much dragon emphasis. You tribute a dragon, pop everything on the field, whose attack, whose defense is equal to or less than that monster's attack, and this one just makes all your dragons pierce. We have my favorite trap card out of all time, freaking Ring of Destruction. I'm glad they made it in real life and you can play it now. I love it. I don't care if I have to take the damage first. I don't give a crap. But since it's the anime, I would use the anime effect better because that's the only way that the combo, which Ring of Defense and stuff would work. So yeah, love that card. And then we have the last card, Virus Cannon. Kaiba also had a lot of virus cards. As you can see, Crush Card Virus, Virus Cannon, Giant Germs. Virus cards that he used. The anime effect is freaking broken. You just send 10 spell cards from your opponent's deck to the graveyard. Like, that's stupid. This one you have to tribute non-token type monsters you control, and then you send that many spell cards from your opponent's deck to the graveyard, or he sends it. He chooses and sends, so it's pretty good. You can combine that with like Lord of Dragons and stuff like that. You can just deplete the shit out of your opponent's deck. Excuse my language, but yeah, that. We have Stop Defense. Kaiba. Unlike Joey, where Joey needs to kind of like get around his opponent's big monsters. Kaiba wants to get around his opponent's weak monsters by switching them, by making sure that he can inflict the damage that he wants. So Stop Defense is perfect for this deck. It's in the side deck though, but if you want to use it, you can. We have Spell Absorption. Kaiba uses this to gain life points and stuff like that. So for every spell card that's activated, you gain 500, and that's pretty freaking awesome. And then we have Ring of Defense, as you already know, the combo with Ring of Destruction. It's pretty cool, pretty badass. The anime effect is better because this one, you just pretty much negate the whole purpose of Ring of Destruction. But if you use the anime effect, it's better because then it makes sure that you take 0 damage. So it doesn't just cancel out the whole trap card. And like I said before, Kaiba has 2 Flute of Summoning Dragons, so the other one is in the side deck, but you can always add it into the deck and put a little more emphasis in the dragon archetype of Kaiba, and then we have 2 more anime cards. We have Thirst for Compensation. He used this in the anime to, provide for Obelisk's effect, where you need to tribute 2 monsters. But since we're not using that, that anime effect for Obelisk the Tormentor, you kind of have to respawn with that card. It's pretty good because it allows you to space summon 2 level 4 lower monsters, up to 2 actually, from your hand and face in defense position. So it could serve as a defensive card as well. But you can't use those cards as tributes for tribute summons or set. So yeah, so it's just usually used for Obelisk or defensive purposes. And then last but not least, Spell Sanctuary. That card is freaking broken. It just makes everything freaking spell speed too. So yeah, when this card is activated, each player can add one spell card from their deck to their hand, and then while this card is face up on the field, players can activate spell cards on their opponent's turn. So you can literally set a normal spell card and activate it on your opponent's turn, or you can activate a normal spell card during any phase on your turn as if it were a freaking quick play. So it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's the deck. The deck is based on literally just spamming Obelisk. This is what you want to get out. You want to win with this. This is the guy. And you have all the freaking things that you need to summon it. You have all the spam that you need. Plus, Kaiba does have a lot of big hitters, so it's going to make it a little difficult for your opponent to, like, get through them. And you might even just win the duel even before just summoning Obelisk because of the fact that Kaiba just has a lot of freaking power hitters in his deck. But that's the whole main of the deck. That's how he had it in Battle Cities, just to spam Obelisk the Tormentor. And the way he does that is by having a lot of cards that allows him to, provide the tribute summoning conditions for Obelisk, which is 3. So that's the deck. I hope you enjoy it. You can obviously, there's a lot of other like Battle City cards for the deck. Once we complete this guy's deck, it's gonna be freaking broken. I'm gonna make it like the most insane deck ever. Probably just the Yugi deck is gonna be the only deck to beat it because it's Yugi. But fuck Joey, that third-rate duelist now.
Hey, he's gonna wreck
puppy, that little puppy. Sit down. You know what? We should definitely have a freaking remake of this duel of a Kaiba versus, Joey duel. Like, I really do believe that Joey can actually beat him.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, he has the potential. I just feel like Kaiba gets in his head too much, so it kind of like, But I really do believe that Joey had the potential. And I would have loved to see how Joey, like if Joey were to beat Marek, like he would have the Egyptian God card. That would have been freaking epic.
Yeah, if he had Raw.
That would be freaking cool. And it would be another freaking Duelist Kingdom rematch between Yugi and Joey. But that's the deck, guys. I hope y'all enjoy it. Soon, when we have more cards for these guys, we'll definitely put up more duels. Subscribe, like the channel. Legendary Duels. Give us your input of, what y'all thought about it, what y'all want to do, what duels y'all want to see, and we'll try to bring all those things to pass as fast and as accurate as we can possibly do it, and try to be as consistent as possible. So guys, thank you very much. God bless y'all, and Riding Duel Acceleration!
Gotcha!
No, again! Riding Duel Acceleration!
Gotcha! We already did this!
Shut up!
Enough! We got the level 5 Flame Swordsman, normal monster. He's originally supposed to be not a fusion. Stupid as hell. Not necessarily the best card because it's a level 5 with only 1800 attack. They kind of fixed it with Blue Flame Swordsman in Season 4 and made it actually make sense.